Mahendra Motilal Bandu, Professor and Head of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Barry's Institute of Technology, Mangalore. Today I am going to discuss about the capillarity. Capillarity is a property of static fluid. Right here, one example I have taken. In this example, I have taken two containers. It is container 1. I call this container 2. In container 1, liquid is the water. In container 2, liquid is the mercury, right? And in containers, first container, I immerse a capillary tube. In second container, same kind of capillary tube I insert, I immerse. Right? What is capillary tube? Capillary tube means it is a tube which is having diameter less than 6 millimeter. That is we are calling as a capillary tube. Tube diameter, if it is less than 6 millimeter, that we call as a capillary tube. If you immerse that capillary tube in the fluid that I have shown in the example, right? We are finding here, in first case, we are finding this fluid level in the capillary tube is not equal to the free surface. It is, we know it is called as a free surface. This free surface, this is we call as a free surface of static fluid. The top layer in the container we call as a free surface. It is free surface, right? When you insert a capillary tube in the static fluid, right, what happens in the capillary tube? Water level or the fluid level is not equal to the free surface. It may be above the free surface, it may be below the free surface, right? If it is above the free surface, we call that as a capillary rise. If it is below the free surface, we call that as a capillary fall or capillary depression. When capillary depression happens, when capillary rise happens, that we discuss in the next slide. Right here, we just understand what is capillarity. Capillarity is a property of static fluid. When you insert a capillary tube in a static fluid, we find rise or fall of fluid in the capillary tube, right, with reference to the free surface of the static fluid. Right, that rise and fall of fluid in the capillary tube is called as a capillarity, right? After knowing capillarity, now I like to discuss about capillary rise and how to calculate capillary rise. Right. To understand that, again, I have taken a example of static fluid. Right, it is a container. Container is filled with the static fluid, and it is a free surface of the fluid in the container. Right, when the capillary tube is immersed in the container, right, in the capillary tube, we find water level is raised from the free surface of uh, uh, this static fluid. Right. Here, the amount of this uh, fluid raised from the free surface of the static fluid in the capillary tube is called as a capillary rise. Once again, I define this. It is very interesting to understand. Right? The amount of fluid raised in the capillary tube from the free surface of the static fluid is called capillary rise. Right? It is a free surface of the static fluid, and there is one more free surface we can say. Right? In the capillary tube, when fluid rises up, here also we find a free surface. This free surface is not a flat. It is not horizontal. It is sometimes concave or it is convex in shape. Right? Here in particular case, it is a concave, and we know what we know. The surface tension acts along the surface of along this surface, right? Along the surface of fluid which is in the capillary tube, the surface tension is acting. It is surface tension, right? The surface tension I have shown by sigma, right? It is along the direction of the surface of fluid in the capillary tube, right? So this uh, sigma, this layer or sigma is making angle theta with the what? It is making angle theta with the tube surface, that is we are indicating it by theta, right? This is very important to understand here. We can find the capillary rise, H value we can find. How to find H value? It is to find H value we have to equate weight of fluid raised in the capillary tube, to the uh, force. Which force? The surface tension. Force due to surface tension in vertical direction. Resultant force due to surface tension in vertical direction is equal to, right, weight of fluid raised in the capillary tube. Right? What is the amount of fluid raised in the capillary tube? That we can find. It is very simple to find. Amount of fluid raised, weight is equal to m into g. What is m? M into g, right? What is m? M is mass. What is mass? Mass is equal to density into, this is volume, h into, this is cross-sectional area, right? Pi d square by 4, it is h is the volume, rho density, right? Density into volume is a mass, mass into acceleration due to gravity g is the weight. This weight is equal to surface tension, resultant surface tension in vertical direction, right? It is resultant surface tension, that is sigma 2 pi r. If you multiply that with cos theta, it gives us the vertical resultant force of surface tension, right? Both I am equating, it acts in downward direction, it is in upward direction. If I equate both, I get the value of h. H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta rho zd, right? I hope you understood what is h. It is the capillary rise that I have shown here. D is the diameter of capillary tube. Pi d square by 4 is the cross-sectional area of the capillary tube, right? And acceleration due to gravity is the g. Rho indicates density of fluid, right? So this is how we can calculate the value of H capillary rise. Okay. After understanding capillary rise, now we have to discuss about the capillary fall. To understand, again, I have taken an example here of static fluid. Means a container is taken. The container is filled with some liquid, right? When container is filled with some liquid, this is called as a free surface of liquid in the container, right? And when we immerse a capillary tube, fluid will enter into the capillary tube, and in this particularly in this case, what happens? Fluid is not crossing the free surface of the container; it is below the free surface of the container, right? Anyhow, fluid is entered into the capillary tube, right? When it enters into the capillary tube, it is having a top surface here, that is called as uh, again free surface of liquid in the capillary tube. One is free surface of liquid in the capillary tube. This is the free surface of liquid in the container, right? If free surface of liquid in the capillary tube is below the free surface of the liquid in the container, that we call as a capillary fall, right? That amount, how much it is below, right? What is the distance, that we indicate it by letter H, that we can calculate it here, right? How to calculate? Again, to calculate, we have to calculate that, we should know the weight of fluid below the free surface of the container. H, what is the weight of this fluid here, that we have to calculate, right? Again, next, what we should know? Surface tension, right? We should calculate the surface tension and resultant surface tension in vertical direction. that also has to be calculated, and both has to be equated. Once if we equate both, right, we're going to get what? We're going to get the value of H, right? So it is how to calculate capillary fall. I hope you understood this. And one more thing we have to understand: when there is a capillary rise, when will be the capillary fall, right? It is very simple to understand. If uh, cohesive force is dominant, then the adhesive force, right? So we find a capillary fall. If adhesive force is dominant, then the cohesive force, then we find a capillary rise, right? It is all about the capillarity, capillary rise, and capillary fall. If you take mercury as a liquid in the container, cohesive force is dominant, so we find a capillary fall. If you take a water as a liquid in the container, then adhesive force is dominant, we find a capillary rise. Moreover, the free surface in the capillary tube makes angle, is theta is equal to 180 degree almost, in case of mercury. For pure water it is 0. For just water, it is not pure water. The surface is a concave surface, right? And it makes a acute angle. Here surface nature of surface is a convex, right? This is what we have to understand in the capillarity. Okay, thank you.